Hey everybody, good morning. Mestre coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, here on Mestre Vibes. I know it's been a while since I've been able to put out a video, so I'm hoping to get back into it. It's just been really busy with the restaurant, with the academia, getting ready for our bachizado. Fortunately, we'll be able to have one next month. It's very limited because of the amount of people that can get together, and we'll all do our best to be safe, but to celebrate the rich tradition of Capoeira, the bachizado. Okay, remember, if you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Put some comments. I'll be happy to answer as best I can. I hope that we can grow and do things positive about Capoeira in the international community. So, quick update. I'm waiting for the editor to send back the first draft of my new book, and I'll keep you guys informed. Today, I want to tell you guys a story, okay? Why do I get so excited when I get to tell a story? Why? Because I think it's part of the oral tradition of Capoeira. And I know some people might think that the story I'm about to tell is me criticizing someone. I'm not criticizing someone or anything. What I'm doing is I'm going to tell you a story and reflect on it, hoping that my reflection and experience will be able to help other people understand the situation that happened. Okay? So here we go. A lot of times people say, oh, so-and-so doesn't deserve their cordon, so-and-so has a high rank, and they didn't put their time into it, they didn't train under a master. You know what? Each group is completely different, and how they decide to give out cordons only matters for their own group. Because in fact, when you decide to start traveling and being a professional capoeirista, let's say around the world, it's the connections you made through actual growth and participation that will give you. So if one person that will give you status or street cred. So if one person doesn't have it in the international community, it's generally because they didn't do it. Even if they have a high cordon, even if they have a mestre cordon. Okay? Me too, everybody's involved, right? It's about connections and about the community. So let me tell you the story. When I first came to Japan, I did like most people that generation. I was very immature, very headstrong, very aggressive in capoeira. So I thought by going to other classes of capoeira, I was visiting, but actually subconsciously and maybe even consciously, I was thinking, I'll go show what I can do, and maybe some of the students will want to come to me. Some people say that's stealing, some people say it's not. The situation here of capoeira when it first came was revolved around break dancers and absolutely no capoeira culture, and just people going to, let's say, Brazil for a month, coming back with Professor Cordons. Yes, it happened here, okay? And I'll tell more stories about that later. That's why I have a somewhat love-hate relationship with capoeira here in Japan. But I'm being honest and I'm giving my opinion, and you can criticize it and we can talk about it, okay? So when I first came, I went to go visit this group. And that group had an American teacher and a Japanese teacher, okay? They were kind of co-leading the classes. I showed up. This is not me being, like snobby or tooting my own horn, but I was better. I knew more. I could do more, substantially more. So people started asking, right? For, they could visit my classes. And I set up my own classes and eventually led to Capoeira as adored 21 years here in Japan. But when I went to go visit that group, I was like, fine, they're doing their own thing. I didn't try to poach any students. I didn't try to take anyone. I was trying to be conscious of what I was doing as best as I could be at that age. So when the time for their bachizado came up, the group, right? The group invited their master to come to Japan from Brazil. We were out at dinner because I was translating for this master as he spoke no Japanese or English. And the master asked me, he literally said to me, if you're not under my flag, in Portuguese say, baixo da minha bandeira, which means like, if you're not in my group or in my thing, then I can't support you. And literally, I was in myself going, what? I never asked for your support, right? What? Hold on. Why are you trying to pull me into your situation? And I could see that, and hopefully that's from malicia, malandragem, whatever you want to call it. I was aware of what the Mestre was trying to do, good or bad. The Japanese student, we were there, and he had, I would say, 2 years of capoeira about there at the batizado. We're all lined up. My students are there. We're doing as best as possible. And I remember the Mestre saying, I want to graduate the first Japanese Mestre. Great idea, whatever. But in that rush, what happened? That student who graduated Mestre, he became a Japanese person who traveled to Brazil, from what I heard, once a year, was paying outlandish fees to the Mestre's group, participation fees. And for many years, and every year that when the Mestre came, he gave him a Cordon. 11 years of capoeira, living in Japan, not training under anyone, just visiting the Mestre in Brazil once in a while. He was awarded the first Mestre Cordon. He was awarded the Mestre Cordon in 11 years. Okay? I've mentioned this before. Second, let it sink in. Now, what happened recently? People have come up to me who are part of that group and go, Mestre, did you know so-and-so left the group and moved to another city in Japan and started his own capoeira thing? And I just sat back and I thought to myself, I saw this coming. I told you so. People say, oh, I don't want to say I told you, but I told them. I said, be careful. When I came to Japan, my own capoeira group, I don't want to mention any names, literally did the same thing. They said, okay, students abroad will now have to pay $100 a month in membership fees. I was the only student abroad. Exploitation, whatever. I didn't want to do it, so I left and I formed Capoeira Zoador. These things happen in the capoeira world, in the capoeira culture, where in Brazil, people want to get as much as they can. And it doesn't mean they're wrong. It means this is an opportunity to make money for capoeira. I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm saying this kind of things happen, okay? And it's important, I feel, to communicate to you guys that this can happen. And then you will run into it, and hopefully, as intelligent people in the international capoeira community, we can address these things and say, okay, wait, hold on. And I think this is important because it goes back to what we were talking about in another video about what happens if your mestre or your teacher gives you a cordon that's here and you know you're here. Don't take it. Say sorry. Don't make those excuses. Oh, but my mestre gave me. Why? Because those problems will come back to you. Those problems are going to come back to you. So in Japan, they still call him mestre, but is he a mestre after 11 years? 11 years? We don't even do that in Brazil. Contra mestre in 7 years. We have that here too. Can you build on that? I mean, yes, that's what their group is doing. That's fine, and if they want to do that. But when people look from the outside, it does make people confused, right? So it's important that we talk about these issues and hopefully understand them better. So what happened? The guy moved. Hey, best of luck. Do what you can. But I told you so. Mestre Sucuri, Mestre Vibes. Subscribe, like, comment. Maybe you've heard of similar stories. Lots of peace, lots of love, lots of ashe.